Right, welcome to Posca Club. Today we're going to draw Futurama's robot Santa. It was a request by one of my Facebook followers when I asked what I should be drawing this week, because it's Christmassy stuff, but I don't want to go like traditional Christmassy stuff. I want to go for something a bit edgier. These are the colours that I'm going to use in my robot Santa. So obviously a couple of reds. We've got red and ruby red. That's going to help us with the hat. If the hat and the jacket. If you've not got ruby red, just normal red will do. We just the ruby red's just going to be a shadow in there. Grey and deep grey. This is the shadow and the highlight colour for the actual robot. We're also going to just use the regular grey as a bit of shading on the white beard and the white part of the hat and things like that as well. Okay. This character has a lavender bit on the side of its cheek, so I guess like cheekbones. So grab a lavender, grab an orange for the eyes, ochre and yellow for the teeth. Again, with all these, if you don't have shadow colours, don't panic too much about it. It's all about having at least one yellow, one grey, one red. That's the important bit. And finish off with a couple of black pens. That is all you're going to need. I thought I'd finished my sketchbook, but I found a few pages, empty pages at the front, so I'm going to use those. Let's get on with it then, shall we? So we're going to start off, you know those two greys? We're going to start off with the greys. Let's go with the lightest grey first, the light grey first. Now this character, we're going to kind of draw him over on the right hand side a little bit because the beard is going to stick out on the left. We're also going to have our page like split into 4 sections. Yeah, mate.
I'm using silver and deep grey, so which one would be my lighter one?
I think silver would be the lighter.
Okay.
Yeah, go with silver for the time being. So yeah, imagine like we're splitting our canvas into 4 sections here. So we want the not the top section, but the next section down is where we're going to draw this first shape. We're going to start off, don't go too close to the edge, we're going to start off with a shape like this. It's going to be down, across and up like that. There is our first shape. See how this line here is about halfway down our page. That's kind of where you want to be. Next line to draw with this lighter grey. We're going to join these top bits together, but we're going to have a slight upwards curve on it. Like that. See, it's a slight curve going up. It's just going to make the head look a little bit rounder. Okay. Right, let me zoom in a little bit now because this next bit is going to be a little bit more interesting. So up here, there's our shape we've just drawn. Up the top here, what we're going to do is going to bring 2 lines down on either side that just curl in behind there. This is the rim of the hat that we're drawing now. So 2 lines down and then join those 2 together with a bit of a curve going all the way across. Got that in. Let's move down. There's quite a lot of guidelines in on this one. Let's move down now. We're going to put the beard in. In fact, I'm going to zoom out because this is a complicated piece. Let's zoom out to about there. Okay, you ready for this then? What we're going to do is we're going to put the moustache in and into the mouth. Okay, so we're going to start just here. Stick with this pen that you've got. A lot of these lines will disappear under a black line later. Okay. Start off there, little line out for the moustache. It's going to go that way and then down like that. We've got that bit in first. Once you've got that bit in, just pick up this line again. We're going to carry on with this line, but this time we're going to then bring it over here and add a little lip. Down the back here, this line, let's continue that line going down until you get to that point. You see this point where that's the bottom of the mouth? Stop when you get to the bottom of the mouth there. And then we're going to draw a real random line. Watch this next line. It's this is for the beard. So you can see that looks like a mustache, that looks like a mouth. We're now going to draw the beard bit in. Are you ready for this? We're going to draw a line from there to there, but we're going to go the long way around like this. It's going to come out and curve in like that. Fab. Couple more lines to add in. At the top here, let's go about maybe a third or quarter of the way across and put a line going down just there. We're going to add the eyes next. So you want one eye is going to straddle this pen line over here. The other eye is going to be almost the middle of the robot's head. So let's go for one eye just here, look. And then the other eye about there. That's the eyebrow, kind of the top of the eye. Then we'll do the underside of the eye. The underside of the eye is we're going to turn these shapes into like D shapes. So one there, one there. So we've got these D shapes going on. We'll throw the nose in a little bit later. Right, we're doing good. Right, next line. What we're going to do here is we're going to put in a shadow line. This shadow line is going to start here. It's going to go all the way across until we get to that point. And then when you get to that point, you see where that line across the top is. Stop there and then bring this line directly down. It's going to go behind the eye like that. We'll just chuck a couple more lines in, then we'll start colouring in because I'm keen to get some colour on this to have it make more sense before we add too many lines in. Okay, where this line, so this is the head of our character, this is the beard, well this is the mustache and the beard. So where this line now joins into the mustache, we'll bring it down, go all the way across like that. One last line and then we'll colour in. See this line again, imagine it went straight down and it came to this part of the beard. So imagine it went straight down, it came to that part of the beard and then it just curved into the tip of the beard like that. So it's going to be interesting, your piece, because they're using silver. We'll see how we get along. Let's go and start colouring in there. I think we're good to start putting some colour in. See this section here? So stick with that light grey, that silver that you're using. Let's go and put in a bit of colour across this bit first. Let's also go and colour the front of the face in, so that's this section. So all in there between the eyes is where we're aiming. Underneath the eyes as well, get into that bit. Just don't go into that mustache. And also don't go into the back of the head because that's going to be done in the deeper grey. Let's keep on working our way down. This time we're going to go back onto the right hand side and colour in this bit. This part of the back of the beard. Underneath the moustache. And what I really like about this piece is what we're doing is this is the shadow. The colour we're doing now is going to be the shadow of the white area, but it's also going to be the light area, the highlight of the dark area. But we're just using the same colour on both sections. It will make more sense when we put the deep grey on. But for the time being, let's just get a load of this normal grey or this silver or this paler colour on first. Last little bit in here is a little sausage shape. Just there on that bottom lip. Okay. We're good. Now don't panic if you haven't got all the colouring in done. There's plenty of opportunities for us to get more done a little bit later. Let's go and put on some red though now. So we should be using red and ruby red. We'll just chuck on a couple of little guidelines with the red pen, okay? So with the red pen, we're going to put the hat on. So we're going to start at the front here. We're going to finish at the back here. Starting about there, look. A little curve all the way back, round. Bring it to that point, like the tip of a banana. Let's stay up top there. You see this line that we've got? This line kind of goes all the way through our artwork. It's what separates the dark and the light shade. So that line there, this time we're going to take that line up to the tip of the hat like that. Just curve it round to the tip of the hat. And then using your red, let's go and colour the front of this character in. The front of the hat. And like I say, if you haven't got ruby red, then you want to colour the whole hat in. If you have got ruby red, then we're going to use a little bit of that ruby in the back of the hat just to give it a bit more shape. Stick with your red. We're just going to go and do a little bit down the bottom. We're just going to go about halfway down this beard and then take a little curve out from there. Jump out and jump down like that. That's going to be like one of our shoulders. This next line though is going to curve around the beard. When you get to the bottom of the beard, you're going to leave it. And then back down this way. So you see when you get to the tip of that beard, look, just going to leave that line and just come out a little bit. Again, if you haven't got ruby red, it's the whole bottom section that will need colouring in. If you have got ruby red, that back piece over here is going to be in ruby red later. Let's go and chuck some red on there first. Now don't forget when you're colouring in, just to be nice and gentle on your page. You don't want to press too hard with these pens. There we go. Okay, let's go and grab that lavender next. Are you ready for the lavender section? That lavender pen, what we're going to do is just about here, somewhere across this line here, we're going to draw a circle. And then we're going to draw a half circle just popping out the other side here, okay? So grab that lavender, make sure it's working, and here's your circle just there. And let's colour that in. See, we're going over that grey bit. Make that grey bit disappear. If it's not quite dry, let it dry first. Don't try and colour over it if it's still wet. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see properly what that looks like actually. There we go, so we've got that lavender bit there. Then you want to repeat that circle. We're just going to have a little bit of it poking out the edge on here. So we need to know it goes about that kind of size. Have a little bit of it poking out the edge there. Okay, with your lighter grey or your silver, whatever pale grey that you're using, whatever you use to do all of these bits, go and grab that pen again, because we're going to make this into like a barrel, like a cylinder. So all we're going to do there is just take a little line from the top, going across there, a little line from the bottom, going across there. And then at the end of that, you see this curve that we've got going around here. We're going to reproduce that curve like that. Now the underside of this is all going to be the dark grey, so it's only this top bit, so just a little slither across the top there that we're going to colour in with the lighter grey or the silver. Right, let's have a little look back how it should be looking. That's kind of where we should be at this stage. What we're going to do now is we're going to put on some of the shadow colour for the main part of the robot, shadow colour for the teeth, and then we'll make these eyes. We'll start going into these eyes and making them look 3D as well. This is a complicated one, but there's loads to do, so we're going to steam straight through. There's not going to be any half-time show on this one, okay? So go and grab that darker grey, that deep grey now. Let's go and put some shadows on. So remember that middle part of the head where the eyes are, that was the darker part of our character. Even though we're using the same grey on the beard and on the hat trim, this is the darker part of the character. So careful that you don't smudge anything. Let's go and get in there. Just there. Let's go and put this shadow in. So it's going to go all the way across. All the way across the head there. Down here around the eye. Like I say, we will come back to that eye a little bit later and make it more 3D. Around there, look. So just outlining that back section, colouring in the back of the head. Hopefully you're going to see a lot more of the 3D kind of shape to it coming along. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's also do the barrel. See this little barrel that we've got here? Let's go and do that, the bottom half of that as well. One more important bit down the bottom here. In fact, I'll zoom out for this bit so you can see it in context with everything else. Just a little bit. So you see the back of the neck here, or the back of the head. That line goes down. As soon as that line curves in, you want to repeat that. You want to carry that line on going down like that. So it's going to go down like that, curving in to the head. And what we're drawing here is just a little bit of the back of the neck, just hidden behind the beard, okay? That's what that bit is. Okay, we're looking good. We're not too far behind on progress as well. Let's go and jump into the teeth though next, because we've got a shadow to draw in the teeth. So if you remember, I was using yellow and yellow ochre for the teeth. We're going to take the darker shade, the yellow ochre, and we're just going to draw the back of the teeth. Now, again, remember that line that goes all the way down the middle there, that separates the dark and the light side of the artwork. Let's go and put that in. So a bit about there. The back of this. Colour in with the ochre or whatever darker shade you've got for the teeth. While that's drying though, let's grab the ruby red and start doing the rest of the character's hat. So that little section we've got at the back there, let's go and shade that in now. So as ever, my technique is to outline the area first, then go and chuck some colour on the area. And what I really like about this piece is the way this consistent shadow all the way down the back end, look, everything's got darker down there. Stick with that ruby because we're going to go and do the bottom part here, this section down here at the bottom. So imagine that line there that comes around the front. Imagine that line there comes round there, goes through the beard and comes off the other side. Probably about there. That's the important line. As soon as you've got that line in, the rest we can just outline. And then all this white section down the bottom here, underneath the beard, is all going to be red. Well, ruby red, I should say. Proper page filler this one. We're going crazy with it. There's loads to colour on this one. So I never really know when you're doing around the spiral binding how much to colour in. I think just going pretty scruffy around the edge like that will do the job. But you can, if you're fussy and you want to get it just right, then get into every single bit of that paper around the spiral binding. I kind of like it just rough around there. I think that looks okay. Last little bit on the ruby red. Lovely. You can definitely see how it's looking like a robot Santa now. So normally we'd have finished colouring in by now, but we have still got a fair amount to do. Let's go and do the eyes first. So two things we're going to do with the eyes. One is we're going to put a little bit of orange inside both eyes. Then we're going to 3D them up a little bit. Okay. So just be careful you don't smudge anything as you do in this next section. Let's get in right close up here in the eyes. With the orange, we're going to go in. Oh, look at my orange is not ready. With the orange, what we're going to do is we're going to put in those slightly smaller D shapes. So you see the D shapes that we've already got for those eyes. Just go slightly smaller. Nothing too small. Just leave a little bit of white. Let me just get my pen working. See, there you go. It is coming. Nice. Right. So in here, look, just slightly smaller. Colour that in. Hopefully that grey line will just disappear behind that. Orange is a notoriously transparent colour, so it's not always going to cover that grey line first time round, so you might have to give it a couple of coats. So do those orange bits in first. While they're drying, we're going to take the dark grey and we're going to make those D shapes look a little bit more 3D. Okay, so get your deep grey again. And over on this side, on this one, we're going to do 3 short little lines that are all going to go left to right. So right at the top here, look, a short little line going that way. Right at the point here, a short little line going that way. And then right at the bottom, it's going to be about there. Short little line going that way. See how all of those lines are about the same length? That's what we want. They're our reference points. Now what we're going to do is going to start joining those bits together. So here we go. Look, let's go across here. Look, we're going to join that bit together. The back line. Same here. Look, join the back there to the back there together. Then we're going to join the front or the right hand side of those lines together as well. So let's join that bit to that bit. Then at the bottom here, look, it's really slight. That bit to that bit. Colour that in, and you can kind of see. Yeah, you can see how the 3D aspect of that is starting to come out, yeah? Now with this other eye, we've already done like the bit over here. It's already done. Technically what we would be doing is just there, look, right at the top point, doing another line across. You can just about see that. Down the bottom here, we'll be doing a little line across, and we'll be joining those two together. But because a lot of this is already dark grey, deep grey, we don't have to worry about it until we come to doing our outlining. That's when we've got to get that bit just right, okay? But let's, for the time being, just take a little curve out like that, a little bit of shadow at the bottom there. We'll throw on a nose right at the end. There's no rush to throw on a nose. Let's leave all of that to dry though. And there we go. Let's get into the teeth now. So we've already used the ochre for the teeth. We're just going to use the regular yellow now. So I would say about here, that's where the teeth kind of will come out to. All of this section. Is the lighter colour of the teeth. So let's go and colour that bit in. We're nearly there on colouring in. Just a couple more sections to colour in, and then we can start our outlining. Okay, make sure this bit up top is nice and dry before we do this next bit. We're going to go back in with this lighter grey, silver, whatever colour you used for this part of the head. We're going to go back in with that, and we're going to do this bit between the orange and the deep grey. Then we can start outlining. So let me zoom in. There it is. Mine's still just a little bit wet, so I'm going to be really careful as I do this. Or shall I just give it a blast with a hairdryer? Always have a hairdryer handy. Any Posca, any self-respecting Posca artist will always have a hairdryer handy. Right, I'm going to mute it so we can, so I can hairdryer. Worth noting as well, if you do use a hairdryer, don't have it on the hot setting because you're just going to make the paint really soft. Have it on the cool setting, so it's just blowing cool air, because what you want to make is the paint cold and brittle and hard. Right then, let's get in. So that lighter grey, whatever that original colour was in there, we're now just going to join up these bits, go around those eyes, look. Like that. Definitely see some of the 3D elements coming out there now. Same on this side. Let's do the same kind of thing, just going around that eye. Again, we're losing quite a lot of the line, so when we put the black outline on, we just need to remember where we're going, but I'll take you through that step by step so we won't mess anything up. Awesome. Right, let me take a zoom back. That is it. That's where you need to be. Technically, that's our halfway stage. That does only leave us 20 minutes for outlining though, so we are going to go double quick with our outlining. Make sure it's all nice and dry. Grab your 3M or a 5M. I would grab a 5M, but I've taken them all to workshops, so I'm going to use a 3M. So grab your 3M and let's go and put some outlines on. I will start at the top. I'm going to work my way down on this one, okay, so we don't smudge anything too much. There you go, maximum zoom. Let's go and do this hat first. So nice and easy with the hat. We're just going to outline until we get to the white rim there, and of course double line it. Make it nice and wonky. Once you've done that, let's go round the rim of the hat as well. So just starting across the top there. See, we've got this like little pale grey line in there. Try and get rid of as much of that as possible. Don't really want too much of that coming in, so just go over that line. See how it just comes down to the side of the head there? Let's do that again. And again there. That's better. Keep on going till you get it just right. Down and tuck in. That's around the top of the rim of the hat. Now the bottom of the rim of the hat, we just want to flick it out either side just very, very marginally. So let me show you. If this bit here, look, and then as you get to the edge, just want to be just poking out just a little bit. There you go, so just poking out marginally. Let me move down now. So you can see what we're trying to do there is just get that little bit poking out so it looks like the rim of the hat is wrapped around. So when we bring this line down now, there we go. When we bring this line down, you see how we've got that little tiny overlap just there. That's what we're after. Bring the line down both sides. Little tiny overlap on both sides. Makes it look like the rim of the hat is just wrapped around there. Okay, let's do the eyes next. So easy bit on the eyes is going around the orange bit. So let's go and do that bit first. Up and under. Double line it. There's my card, there it is. See how mine's gone a little bit because I've double lined it and it's started to dry. It's gone a little bit dodgy just there. Just leave that. Come back to it later. See? Just leave it a few seconds to dry, come back to it, and it's nice and easy to finish it off. Double line both sides. Now then, when we do the rest of the eye, we're not going to go on that line there that kind of goes between the deep grey and the lighter grey. We're not going to go on that line. We're going to go around the whole section of the eye. So let me show you. Look, all the way around. So we'll go the underside here, but then all the way around like that. Around the whole thing is what we're aiming for. Let's double line that. Again, we've got another little smeary bit showing up there. It's just the flow of these 3M pens. It can be a little bit slow. Just give it time to dry, go back into it later. Now we want to do the same with the other eye. So remember that we've lost loads of the guidelines in there. So the first important line to do is this one, look, going across here. So let's get that one done first. Then it's going to be easier at the top of that line just to poke a little line out. So you see that line, how far across it goes? I want to do the same over here, just poke a little line out that way. Similar kind of distance. that should, in theory, make it nice and easy for us to connect the end of these lines together, going the long way around. Remember, we've got that shadow coming out just there, so you want to go under that bit and then make it so that it joins up to that bit just there. So let's go under the shadow. Keep on going round and round and round until you join it all up. Not too bad. Let's keep on going. We're about halfway through our outlining. Let's go and do this bit at the back here. So we're going to go around this lavender bit all the way again. Wonky lines, yeah. Don't worry about the little smeary bits. Keep your pen primed. Let's go around the back of the barrel as well. The back of this cylinder. Finish off the top part of this head because we need this next bit to dry fairly quickly because we're going to throw a red nose on here later. So down here across the top of the moustache to bring it home. Awesome. Let's keep on going. Let's get this this little section out of the way with first. So it's going to go around that lavender bit. Stop when you get to the moustache. Let me bring it down a little bit so you can see the entirety of the beard there. Starting there, let's go round the underside of the moustache. So try not to get hooked up with going around that shadow. You don't want to do that. You want to go the underside of the moustache so we can outline the actual mouth shape. So all the way around that mouth, double line it as you're going along. Let's get in that mouth as well. Close the front bit off, so a little line down there just to close the front off. And then we're just a big zigzag going from one side to the other. For some teeth. Keeping it as simple as that, nothing too complicated in there. Last few sections, let's go around the beard next. This line that goes round the beard and all the way up to the back of the head. Ugh. Massive double line there. If ever that happens, don't panic about it. If you've got one bit of the double lining that just looks a bit too fat, just go and do another bit. that looks a bit too fat, and it just kind of balances everything out a little bit. So I'm going to go and do another bit around the front here. Look, let's make that a bit fat. Just a couple more lines, then we'll go and throw a nose in. So the back of the neck, front of our character's chest, and around the back there as well, taking it off the page. This is what we're looking at the moment. And then my favourite thing that you can do with Posca pens is the fact that we can put that nose back on. So this, let's go and grab that ruby red. Even though I think it's more of like a magenta colour, the actual nose, but I'm just going to put it in with a ruby red. And just kind of straddling this part of the eye, that's where we want to throw it in. Look, just, let's go about here, look. See how it just makes all those lines disappear? I didn't want to put the nose in earlier because it interfered with the eyes too much and it became really confusing as we were starting out our drawing. So I thought I'll put it in afterwards, mainly because that's the kind of stuff you can do with Poscas. Let's leave that to dry. Let's just go around our character, add some little bumps and dents and things like that in it. So maybe over here, look, little lines, little scratches, little quote marks. Maybe in the beard we can put some little circles. Nothing too much in there. Definitely grab those reds, start mixing some of those reds up, so bring some of the ruby red into the red area. Just trying to break everything up a little bit now. Take some of that regular red into the ruby red area as well. Hopefully your nose is dry. When your nose is dry, we just need to put a little black line around it. So trying not to smudge anything. There we go, a little black line around the nose. That looks nice. Maybe a little white not white, a little red reflection, look, on the tip of the nose, make it shine. That looks nice. Gonna give that orange a little bit of a blast of orange. So we're home straight now. A little bit of a blast of orange on that grey line to make that properly disappear. And yeah, like I say, we're at home straight now, so just have a little bit of fun with it. I'm going to add some little shadows, but you know, these are not essential bits. I'm going to add some little shadows. What we've got there, don't know what that is. Little shadows around the nose, so I'm going to put in with my deep grey a little line there, but also under here a little line with a view to tapering those out. Let's put a little line in there as well. Just adding some little shadows, and we'll tidy those up in a little while. But yeah, that's looking really nice, that is. Just give it a few seconds to dry, maybe put in a few other bits whilst we're waiting. I don't know, anything go in there. Have a little bit of fun with it. yeah, when that bit's dry, what we need to do is we're going to tidy up some of these shadows just by tapering them out a little bit, bringing the black lines back to the front again, that kind of stuff. So let's bring the black lines back to the front, just in case you accidentally went over those. Will happen. Bit of smudge in there, let's leave that. But then taking that light grey, or that normal grey, silver, whatever you used, tapering this line out, look. See how that smudged really badly? What you can do is, if something's a little bit wet on yours and you've smudged it, what you can do is just wipe it clean almost. Just wipe it in an area where you know you're going to put another colour over the top. And it's really easy to make it kind of just disappear, just like I did there. Nice little bit of black. Tidy it up just there a little bit. I think we are just about there. I am going to go around mine with a power line. See if I've got a real fat black on the go here. Let's see if that looks good. So I do like a power line around my character. I always think it makes it look a lot more finished. Let's tidy up that power line. Just getting into any little bits that were missed, because I was using a real fat pen. Awesome. Couple of little ink splats around there. Let's also just take put some drips in. Sometimes it's pretty cool to have a little drip going up as well. So let's put some drips going up. About just here as well. I think we should probably leave it at that. Kind of like the way that's looking. Just tidy up that little bit of the power line there. I think that's good. I think that's a decent finish. Let's see if this white works. There you go, a little dot of white in the nose, just to add a bit more of that reflection. And we have our Futurama robot Santa all done. Nice work.